Good morning. Or whatever it is, wherever you are. So I actually started I had not started the actual GitHub action for this. Now there's probably still somewhere we could do just in Dockerland. Well, the Docker file set up the environment. The environment is going to have to include some things. And I don't know that I can use the GitHub action for the fetch here. Because this does some pretty specific things. Well, we can assume they're not going to exist in this case. And So I know there's an action specifically for getting the Git repo. I'm not really sure that it does anything different than just doing a Git clone. No, I mean, other than typically doing only the surface changes. Surface changes of patches. Well, no, there could be things that are not the most recent tag. So I could do the clones with the Git actions. Might be because they were mowing the grass today. Oh, these are starting to go off again. So the directories aren't going to exist. We don't actually need to worry about overwriting anything. I'm also not completely sure that the clones get the tags. If we did do a GitHub action for it, we'd have to include at least probably some depth of it. So there's the general stuff. I might actually have to go to documentation specifically for that action. Oh, this is new. Number of commits. So probably, I don't know. Fetch depth of like 50 would be sufficient for most things, and probably less than that on some of the other stuff. Ah, yeah, had less than one. So we could do that. That would, well, it also means we couldn't do as much local testing on this. Let's see, all of this stuff can be gotten from the other copies of the scripts. Lots of CD. So we want to, so for development purposes, we would do like a git. Well, we do exactly that. And what is the argument to git clone itself? Is it just fetch depth? Depth. Depth. I don't know, we do like that on that one. Probably a lot less on that one. Probably don't need too much on that one. I mean, 5 might be sufficient, but then we shouldn't need this stuff. Now, why is that? Oh, because we were in... Oh, right. These were both up front, so this would have to be there. All right, you were actually inside of that other directory. I don't have a console yet. We are not currently mounting any files. All right, are you up to date? You're up to date. So this is going to be similar to, I don't have any keys there, like package server run-ish. All right, no mount, no port. This doesn't have a command. It's not even that big. I thought I did a dot dot on you, but apparently not. Yep. Oh. Phew. Right, it's still executing into there, and even though it's kind of hard-coded, it's still doing the path interpretation. Now you might need attributes. Oh, that's one tech Docker. And then you're picky about line endings in the scripts. Okay. GitHub said they didn't want us to do a directory in the Docker file. Nothing there. So servers are where I used to put things. I wouldn't want that to be a problem. Anyway, let's just use home. All right, so if we do... Okay, so that didn't seem to have any problems so far. I did not actually... I didn't put out the versions I'm using. Or are you actually going to be in game source? It's not data version number. Not game source. Okay, we got patch version number, which looks good. Was this supposed to be putting out any... Ow. That's leftover. I don't actually need server code version number here. Latest tagged version of minor gems. Latest tagged version A, which is used for checkout, and there's a separate thing that's used for server code version number, which we don't actually need for this. Did it print out what it checked out? No. Well, all right. So what in their own process of things? Windows client. So in this script, we did apply patches next. There's our latest tagged version. No, it would be a hole. Right, we were not actually in the same directory as we expected to be there. Reference is not a tree. All right. So it looks like we cannot actually do the depth thing. Because for some reason that leaves out references. Actually, only the main repo, it's that we have to reference arbitrary commits. So you might be able to cheat it on the others. Oh. No, I did do a build. Which has a similar problem. All right, don't really want to print at root. Or work at root. Reference is not a tree. This is where it is useful to be able to look at things more directly. I guess I don't really need master for this, I think, because it should still be on master. Yeah, that's not any of the recent ones. What the heck is patches right now? And is this even fully synced and pushed? Now you see, that's not that. Where are we getting you from? Patches Master Series. Okay, so we need to... Isn't there something that turns on echo? I might have to set that in the shell. I've been thinking of Windows for that. Yeah, echo shell commands as they are executed. Set x or set minus ox trace. Can I do that here, or do I have to do it in the script? I have to do that in the script. All right, cd1 live, get config, patch on commit equals. Okay, so I have not pushed the latest version. But that version should still be back there. I just don't remember how far back. So why are you not there? Yeah, that looks like it. So it's trying to check that out. Where the heck are we? 352. That's 350. Oh? Does git log normally limited like that? Or did I in fact get truncated? Skip commits. So many options. Refs and refs are listed in the command line as commit. So it's from head. How do you specify how many commits to show? Parts of the history. Does not prune some history. Is there like a... I guess I'm really interested in formatting. Date order, typo order. Pretty format. One line. All right, how do we say how many to print? So I would think you see, this seems to indicate that it should be all there, but I thought, oh, that was the wrong one. Minor gems could probably be depth 10, and actually this, well, actually even 50 might not be enough if I didn't update my patches for a while. And I don't know what that range could be. Okay, oh, and I did add that to this script. All right, so it was apply patches. And build client cross. Is there anything you need to watch for in there? CD1 life, configure, game source, make, move. Okay, so we're in game source, so to blah 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 blah. package files, and we are putting that, so game source, one life, wherever that working directory is. Which is here. Okay, so we've got a zip. Do I not have upload scripts here? Oh, maybe was I planning on handling that with action commands? Because that would use the end variable things. Well, I guess it'll be easier to test if I leave the... Because we're running a script anyway to fix up all the tags and things. I think I did have to rebuild for that. That will have to get pushed at some point. Then... Oh, this is a whole Docker. So that prepares all of that stuff. And then we're actually going to stick this in here, and we have not put the GitHub directory in it yet. Is it workflow or workflows? Workflows. I guess this is Windows client. Oh, you're going to complain about missing directories, aren't you? No, with one tech. Runs on. Oh, this was the version test. That's going to have to be a problem for later. I can probably do something like that. It's gonna have a step. So this is going to be... I mean, we're just going to be running scripts. Like, you could try to cache like the object files and things, but it's going to be all mixed in with the source, so I don't really know if that's practical. So we have the container. So it's pretty much fetch. Now, I don't know if the directory behavior is going to be the same here. Before it was just running one after the other. Well, actually, directories get reset after scripts, don't they? Is it just build? Okay, so you're in there. Too many windows. Build client cross. Now this one could oh, this is going to be another one of those things. Where we have to do a whole bunch of noise in the repository. In which case, 10's not going to be enough. Because this will cause incredible amounts of commit spam because of how we have to publish it. Package server. This doesn't really have data versions. Oh, dev windows. And Okay, I think that my, let's see, package server. Package server, just package server. Yeah, that tags both of these. So my package, dev Windows build. Successfully tagged. Okay. That means this thing can, we can see if it runs to completion. I guess since later steps don't run, there's no point not to give it a go. So the things that we were doing after this, nope, Windows client. Docker file is really only publish. So we're not, GitHub lease is going to be an entirely different thing. Upload client, we can probably do. Because this is just upload, it's not download. Although, I am doing a copy operation here, which might want for dev Windows Docker file. Do we just include S3? We did include S3 command. I might not need curl. Dev Windows. We did not include upload script. So either I need to capture these, oops, from previous steps. And actually, that's just getting out of files. Well, the grep might be a little bit involved. So I can get those values. Oh, but we have the whole... But those, let's see, what were we doing? We we had put S3 in, and then we had found ways to get these as end from the secrets as just their own commands. We will just have to get these things as output variables, which public static. Okay, so then that got part of that repository, so we could pull it down later. So that was part of that version check process. Where did I get output values? Was that during this process? Echo command to set version. Wait, was that not indented here? Oh, it wasn't. So we want to game client version. So set output, but it's under this ID, and we just have to have a value. So I think these are just different quoting methods. Now, what are you assuming about path? One life game source. Okay, that makes sense. One life patches master. All right, and you were using that kind of stuff in this kind of command. Access key, secret key. I'm not doing a directory. This is just a single file. These aren't secrets, so we can just interpolate them directly. So this is going to be... Did I use any other steps variables? I used it there. Game client version dot outputs dot version steps dot game patch version dot outputs dot version. So this is upload version file. And then upload latest file. No. It was a copy of that file to the other file. S3 bucket, one life. Oh, and I forgot this zip on all of these. Oh, you didn't have the... And we should probably have, like, test in here or something. All right, we could also try to do the GitHub releases, but that seems like it's going to be a whole new thing. Okay, so I don't actually have one in you yet. Oh, one tack. One life patches master. So I had, where the heck were you? Ah, so you would be the actual new feature. I never got around to publishing that. So there's you. Okay. That, they're going to have to make that the master branch for the actions to show up. or the default branch for a while. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Alright, so this might be in the admin side. Settings, branches, default branch. Actions. Do I have to like push to it again to everything up to date? All right, time to check the paths. Isn't there an option? Copy as path. Okay, sure. And that was in one tack. Shift is the modifier. .github workflows. .yml. Okay, it's a little bit different naming convention than the dashes. So it looks like we've got some bad syntax. And they gave us absolutely no feedback about that. We also don't have a bulk comment that I know of. Well, it had no steps, so okay. So, wait, didn't we say earlier that this needed to be... Oh, right, because this thing would have messed up all the indentation. Actually, weren't you then in one? So those are all pretty basic rules. Okay, well, we got a name now. Oh, and because it was invalid before, it didn't get the on trigger, so it actually attempted to run. Okay. Well, right now we're just trying to do syntax debugging. Okay. I guess to be really fair, speaking that one. Okay, so that one's fine. I guess it's only this that goes back. Or maybe it does need an actual push after major branch changes. Okay, it's still there. Repository does not exist. Well, the push said it worked. Maybe we got the name wrong. Where are you? No, it's not going to upload. All little source files. Oh, dev Windows. Does that specifically pull latest? Oh, server. Okay, it is not listed. So did that not go... Docker.io, whole dev Windows. There already exists. I didn't end up specifying a tag on the other one. So maybe we have to specifically say latest. it doesn't explain why it doesn't show up here. Oh, oh, maybe it's not in the search index. Well, okay, so now it's showing up somewhere. Huh. That just kind of worked last time. So they're apparently slow to update the master index that you would use to actually do things. I mean, it's either that or there's this kind of size limit for free repositories. Unlimited public repos and one private repo. Do I have to do something to mark it as public? Overview. I didn't have to do anything to this one. Container. Well, it even says it's got 5 downloads already. Manage repository. Thanks, latest, readme. There's a public view. 0 of 1 private repositories, so it can't be private. Yeah, it's got a make private button, so it must be public. I guess it just takes a while to show up in the general public index. compressed size. Oh, it's dev Windows versus Windows dev. Still don't know why it's not showing up in the index. Because we're going to have that, and we're going to have two variations of it. Which window do we need for this? Patches master. So it's big to upload and it's big to download. Apply patches is always noisy because there's just like white space and things. Maybe there's an option not to print those errors, but we do want some errors. Okay. Process completed with error code. All right, so we've got a working directory problem. Oh, no, we've got a file name problem. I changed the file name, but I actually have to create the file as such. Is that going to be build? That's the workflow. Well, there's game client version, there's patch version. That command is written as if it was going to run in game source. That would put the build file name into the workflow. And like technically all of this stuff is kind of part of that package process, but then that's still like an entire script. Oh, yeah. So the script gets built into the container. So that makes it extremely hard to change that. So probably we need to get this command over here. All right, so get the version, get the version. So we're wanting to make that file package with file list, but it's, yeah, it's assuming that directory. It's going to slightly complicate this. Actually, would it be worth doing a compound? I think what I'd have to do... Can you do multiple outputs? I have to declare data that an action sets. So in the workflow, so that's those the actions. Yeah, debug messages. Set end variable. As far as I know, you can only run one command. I mean, maybe if you and-anded it. Set output, and then instead of this, it is another one of these where we grab, well, some stuff from here. So that's going to be output.filename.name. So it's still kind of a big gnarly thing, but it's only one big gnarly thing. Outputs. Oh. One of these is the latest. So I'm still going to have to reproduce a little bit of it for that one. Steps. Dot. Is it outputs dot blah blah blah? steps.zip.outputs.file name. Did I get that right? Nope, that's outputs.zip. Steps.zip.outputs.file name. And then we have an explicit name there. We only have to change that in 2 places. And this is all about output file name. So if this works, I think we will have a better process for releases. Name of the tag, name of the release. We'll probably do that during development. And it could be draft and or pre-release. And probably draft wouldn't get published. And then once we figure that out, we have that. Okay, upload. Oh, what was it? Well, I actually have to know what it was for the public bucket, which is in the game. Is that game.cpp? I don't know if you actually get indexes. Well, it's XML, but you kind of can. Okay, that's all started by Mac OS X, which we didn't do yet. Test latest. So we'll have to clean those up later. Size looks comparable. All right, create a release. Now, of course, this is create a release, so as soon as this succeeds, I don't know if it's going to succeed afterwards. Also, they were using the push of a tag. Now, I might be able to use that as like one trigger. So like when I make a new tag, build a release. But then you wouldn't be able to count on that in the body, so. Well, I guess we just use latest tag. You do not need to create your own token. Okay. Oh, they are indented on steps. Interesting. Even the other one actually got messed up by commenting a bunch of stuff out. So end tag name. We do have to recompose this. Oops. Okay, we apparently lost our capture here. Release name. Do I even have release names right now? I've got tags. Yeah, okay, so that's got a zip. Oh, my other script still had it as test. Oops. Release name. Oh. So I'm still, yeah, that's still the same thing. Actually, if anything, it is. I don't need a big fancy one. I don't need the multi-window version. Body. I have no way to get that without some fancy processing of like changelog or something. Now, was I even doing release name before? Or is that just kind of the default? Okay, so that's the series. Which actually means that's the same repo as that. Nose client, GitHub. Output, create release. Tag name. Oh, you have a target commit-ish. Okay, I did have a name. Can we do that? That's even a separate thing. Well, that's a little bit worrisome. Action.yaml. Well, there's main and there's create release. Context.sha. I guess context is a thing that's just kind of available from the repo. Wait. Get input. So that's an undocumented parameter? Well, we're still going to have to get that. Let's compose. Commit-ish, as we did before. Get dir from the root, we go to that one. Oh, and I'm passing patch version, so we have to interpolate into there. Steps dot patch version dot outputs dot version. And and it's going to very much matter. MMITISH. Is V1 latest version. There's not much a lag in the... Oh. Is this beyond V1? I guess... So is that going to be V1 V1? Or V1 with patches? Oh, default branch. Man. I guess it's this. Support target commitish. Do you have the tags? No. So the marketplace says V1 is the latest version. Initial release. So there's V1. Maybe V1 points at the latest. Does network show that? Got master and main. No, it doesn't show tags. Oh wait, it is the same as 1112. So on July 1st, that was in June. So it should be okay. So that's create release. Upload a release asset. Yeah. I just wasn't sure if like V1 was like 100 or if it was like the latest, is like the highest available V1. It seems that they're changing the V1 tag to point at the latest one, which is something that will be made very upset by the latest versions of Git. But even GitHub is doing it. Upload URL. Wait. Oh, steps.create release that outputs that upload URL. Okay, so for this to work, it actually has to be all in the same workflow. And if this fails, I'm going to have to be manually deleting things. Oh, ID create release. Okay. Steps.create release. A little bit different format there. Passing data to future steps. I think I understand that well enough. Oops. Okay, that was actually just wrapping. Yeah, might be one space there. Asset path. Well, asset path. So you were okay just using steps.outputs.file name. Nope, I can, no, I've just tried it. And we selected that. Asset name. Yep, lost it. Was I doing anything else with that? Like Windows or... No, just using it as is. I might need something else to get the upload URL. For the second file. Now that one just said upload releases, so maybe there's a different way to specify that. Or do you have a different set of options? For example, yeah, so when we get to the other one, we're going to have to figure out how we get the upload URL. The container is part of the job. So I could actually have one thing that ran both builds as two different jobs. I could perhaps do create release in an earlier job and then output the stuff we need, or the upload URL. Where was our tab? There we go. Yeah, I don't think you could count on the release from one of them. How would we actually get the versions, though? We'd almost have to be doing this stuff in the create release, which may or may not run in the default container. Okay, well, said it created it. Where the heck? That's branches. Tags, releases. Okay, I see it as draft. We have one asset. That looks about right. Right, for early development, we're probably going to want to do a separate file just for not repeating all the work. We also need to get into tests. So we might be able to make some progress on the Mac build. Which is going to be pretty much copying this. Well, after we go develop the container for it. But we have to do version checks. Oh, actually, the version, yeah, if we're going to do a version check, maybe we can output the current version from that. Everything else would skip on the version check, and it could use the version numbers for the create release part. So it would be version check, create release, and then we could do the two builds in parallel. It would all just be jobs. It's going to be kind of a heavyweight. Well, some of the latest version stuff I was doing with just the refs without necessarily cloning everything. So I might even be able to just like, did I use GitHub Actions for fetching things? I think I still had to do the git fetch refs. Well, maybe, since the next step is to build up the Docker image for this, maybe that would be better to take all of the Mac build stuff as sort of one idea. I mean, this level it looks pretty close. I don't know if I have to diff the scripts and see if there's anything to watch out for there. Yeah, I guess it's early-ish, but it's a good breaking point. So we should have, well, we have a lot of this worked out. I guess we'll have to do this stuff, and then maybe it'll be a third one to get releases and tests working properly. We'll have to see. But thanks for watching. Everybody hosted me. Ooh. I thought I saw something come on, but it's not showing up in the raid list yet. So that's what I'm usually on. I guess I do tend to go later, but usually it's you're caught up in something, and I think I'm kind of at a breaking point now. Looks like before H is on doing the Elm stuff, which if I ever get all this stuff automated, we'll be back to someday. Someplace cool to hang out. Someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye and until next time.